Hello dear student, welcome to this GDC and welcome to today's session. In today's session, we are going to start with the model paper second of your social pharmacy, and this paper is specially designed for your upcoming Telangana Pharmacist examination. So dear student, this paper include 30 questions from your social pharmacy in which I am going to discuss about the 30 concept. So you have to remember all the concept, you have to watch the video carefully and in a very disciplined way. And if you are having any doubt, you want such more type of video, you just comment us, you just drop a message to us. We will definitely find some alternative and give our best to solve your doubt also. So dear student, like for to being a student of GDC, like you have to first remain happy. Like you are able to see my we can say live video as well as my my virtual we can say photo also. As my I have a happy face, and you also have to remain in a very happy face, because when you feel remain happy. As we are discussing about the social pharmacy, suppose if you are having a smile in your face, the smile can lead to your physical we can say health. It is also useful for your mental health, as well as you it is like if you are feeling happy, then if you are having a happy face, then your family watching your happy face will remain the happy, means it is involving your social health, as well as if like you are remain happy, then God is always giving the blessings and to you, and that is also known as spiritual health. So you have a happy face to get all the health, like social, mental, physical, as well as spiritual health. Got it? And try to think over, because overthinking is not like so much necessary for a student. Overthinking like I can do it tomorrow, I can do it over tomorrow, I have not done any topic. Rather than to think from there, you have to work from there, you have to read from there, you have to plan. Rather than to overdo the over plan, you just have to switch, or we can say take the plan that you have now. It is, got it? As like we had the COVID-19 pandemic previously in previous past year. So most of the people are dying due to overthinking. They are having the overreading the newspaper, overwatching the news in the television. So they are having like overthinking. So overthinking can spoil the mind, as well as the it can leads to the disturbance in the mental health. Got it? So dear student, first question for today's model paper second of social pharmacy. We have like you just have to find the most important factor. You just have to find the most important factor that affect our nutritional requirement. So for the nutritional requirement, we have the factor that is your growth and the activities. These are the factor that are the nutritional factor that are required for your we can say growth. So for your nutritional requirement. So growth and activity, like growth like such as childhood, adolescence, pregnancy, and the body required a additional and sportive development, as well as the nutrition requirement we have. The calcium requirement for the pregnant woman, for the teenager, and the to maintain the bone and muscle regulation. And next we have the activity, like we have to increase our physical activity. Nutrition need to support the metabolism and recovery. Individual lifestyle will higher nutritional needs, and we just have to keep our energy balance. We have just to maintain the energy balance. We have to create the energy balance so that we can, if we remain healthy, we can read more and more. Next question for you. FIP consists of which board? Consists of which board? FIP is stand for International Federal of Pharmaceuticals. So FIP, that is basically concerned with your pharmaceutical practices and the science. It is not concerning with the pharmacology board of pharmacy. We have the PCI, Pharmacy Council of India, that is board of your pharmacy. So FIP, that is stand for your International Pharmaceutical Federation, as I told you, and that is basically a non-government organization. That is we can say it is a NGO. which officially with the official relationship with our whole World Health Organization, and it is globally we can say reporting over millions of pharmacists, pharmaceutical scientists, educators, and through 153 national organizations, academic institutes, and other they have. So, what is the FIP done? So, FIP include our pharmaceutical practices. It's include our pharmaceutical sciences, which work in collaboration with the pharmaceutical practice and science and education globally. So, next question we have, like just we have to identify the factor which are responsible for the health. So we have environmental factor, we have genetic inheritance, we have the social supportive system. So all the three above system, like experimental factor, we have the environment, genetic inheritance, social support, are the factors that are responsible for a good health. Or we can say environmental factor means like physical and social condition, where individual lives such as housing, pollution, and community. Genetic inheritance, like genetic factor, can predispose individual to certain health and condition, influencing all over the status. Social support, like presence of supportive network of the family, friend, community, can significantly impact mental and physical health. What is Millennium Development Goal? We can say Millennium Development Goal by 19 sorry Development Goal that was launched in the year of 2015, that include we just that we have to reduce the child mortality, improve the maternal health, we have to develop the global partnership. So these are the three that are the MDG goal. We have basically 8 goal that are like we just have to eradicate the extreme poverty and hunger. We have to achievement universal primary educations, promote the gender equality and empower women, reducing the child mortality, improve maternal health, and combat the HIV, AIDS, and malaria and other disease, and ensuring the environmental sustainability, global partnership for the development. After that, like the characteristics of the mental health having the characteristics like we have to do the adjustment, we have to do this satisfactions, we have to control on our sense organs, like basically that is my personal control of sense organs means like we have the eyes, don't like as Gandhi ji said that don't see unnecessary things, don't eat unnecessary things, don't speak unnecessary things, don't listen unnecessary things. So that is self control. Self control is like that. Like suppose we have the tongue that is uh, doing the demand that we have to eat we can say a delicious food. For that what we are doing, we just taking the whole body and go from your working location, from your home location to other places, because we don't have to control on our tongue. That is the demand of only tongue, and we had taken all the body to there. So if we are controlling on our tongue, then why there is a need like to take all the body at that place, and why there is there is a need to waste the time of all the things. Like why there is a need to waste your eye, why there is a need to waste your waste the time of your ear. Same is like if your eyes has demand that you have to watch a movie in the cinemas, and the same you are doing. You just taking your whole the body, leg, hand, and all the body including to the cinema hall, where you are just expending the money on the necessary things. That is your not a self control. So these all are the characteristics of the mental health. Mental health that are basically attribute and to overall psychological well-being, and these character are like self-satisfactions, adjustment, and self-control. Scientific study of human population, you know very well, scientific study of human population, that is also known as demography. Demography, or we can say study of human population in a scientific way, is known as demography. It involves the statistics, we can say statistics of analyzing the population, including their distribution, structure, and trend of birth and death, of migration from the urban to rural, rural to urban, and the aging also including this. Which of the following is a mortality indicator? Which of the following is a mortality indicator? Mortality indicator like the frequency of the death, like how much death and how much birth are there. So mortality indicator that specifically measure the aspect related to the death, such as your death rate, your frequency of death, and in population over a certain period. After that, the cleanliness, physical exercise, rest and sleep. These are the part of cleanliness, like our own cleanliness, physical exercise, like we have to do our own physical exercise, that is my personal, and I have to take a specific rest and sleep. These are include our personal hygienes. So involve the practice related to your cleanliness, your physical exercise, rest, and sleep, which are essential in maintaining the individual health and well-being. So these activity help and prevent the disease and promote the healthy lifestyle. So next you have the gas produced from the landfill waste is known as the landfill waste that you are going to deposit are producing your biogas. Your biogas, that is basically we can say methane, or we can say composed of methane and carbon dioxide, that are produced by the landfill waste. And that you know very well, landfill means that is somehow down. So these are produced by the anaerobic decomposition. There is no oxygen supply of the organic matter that is in landfill. So this is the process when the microorganism break down the organic material in absence of the oxygen. And we have the key point about the biogas, that is having the composition 50 to 70% of methane, 30 to 50% of your carbon dioxide, and traces of other gases we have. Sources it is produced from the organic waste materials such as the food scrap, agriculture residue, and other biodegradable material. Next, you have the biogas can be captured and used for various applications, including your electricity generation, heat, and as well as the fuel for the vehicle. The process of burning municipal solid waste under suitable temperature and condition in a specific furnace is known as, like, the process in which we are just burning. What we are doing? Burning, and we are using a temperature and a specific condition. So it is not landfill. In landfill, just we are just uh, uh, we can say doing a just dumping the we can say waste, and just cover it with the soil. Incineration, okay, we will see it again. Recycling, like we are just using the plastic paper and that we are sending it to the recycling bin. Okay, next we have the vermicompost. Vermicompost is basically in which we are just using the earth form and other we can say insect for developing a we can say manure. So incineration is the process in which we are burning the municipal solid waste under a suitable temperature condition and a specific furnaces. So landfill, as I told you, in which the waste material is disposed or we can say buried under the ground, and just we are covered with the soil and to minimize the exposure with the environment. And incineration, that I told you, that is the burning or at the high temperature, and there is a specific environmental specific furnace condition. Recycling means like the collecting, processing, and reusing the material, and this involves the converting materials such as the paper, glass, metal, and plastic. Vermicompost and organic waste material management process that uses earth form to compose organic matter such as your food scrap and garden waste into the nutrient rich composite. Which of the following is a dangerous intestinal disease that's spread by the polluted water containing the bacteria? So that is spread by the polluted water only. Polluted water like typhoid, that is not from the polluted water. Amoeba, that is not polluted water. We have the the typhoid, that is only the spread. We can say it is an intestinal disease that is spread by the polluted water containing the bacteria. And the typhoid, that is caused by your bacterium that is known as Salmonella typhi, or we can say typhoid fever, that is the acute illness that is serious and fatal for the intestine. And as I told, as you had seen in the question, it is we can say affected by your polluted water, waste material, and poor sanitation and hygiene practice. So key points are like we have the symptoms like high fever, headache, weakness, abdominal pain, constipation, mild vomiting, and loss of appetite. So patient may develop a rashes called the rose spots on the abdomen and chest. If left untreated, or we can say typhoid fever can lead to severe complications and even death. And typhoid is most commonly in the rural area because they lack the basic sanitation and hygiene condition. Next, we have which of the following minerals functions by building the strong bone and teeth. As you know very well, calcium and phosphorus are required for the bone and teeth for their proper functioning. So this is the calcium that is required for the proper functioning, as it is stored 99% in the bone and teeth, and it is responsible for the structural component or structural maintenance and the integrity for the bone and teeth, and providing the rigidity and the strength. And adequate calcium intake during the childhood and the adolescence is crucial in achieving the peak bones, and it help in maintaining the bone density in the child in the adulthood and reduce the risk of osteoporosis as the fracture in the older age. Next, you have which of the following nutrient deficiency cause the megaloblastic anemia. Megaloblastic anemia, that is basically we can say caused by deficiency of folic acid. Folic acid and your vitamin B12. Folic acid is your vitamin B9, and vitamin B12 is also known as well vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. So both the vitamin are essential for the DNA synthesis and your protein proper formation of the red blood cells. Next, you have like which of the following diseases caused by the protein deficiency. You have the anemia that is not caused by your protein deficiency. It is basically for due to the deficiency of your we can say blood and red blood cell. Hypothyroidism, that is due to the deficiency of your thyroid hormone, and iodine deficiency is there. Kwashiorkor, that is the only disease that is caused by your protein deficiency. Anemia, that is characterized by the deficiency of red blood cells and hemoglobin in your blood. As I told you that kwashiorkor, that is primarily due to the inadequate protein intake and despite of sufficient calories consumptions. Hypothyroidism, that is the condition where the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough thyroid hormone. A disease that is characterized by the abnormal enlargement of the thyroid gland is we have anemia option, okay. Brittle bone, no. Rickettsia, okay. We have the goiter. So the thyroid drug that is only cause a abnormal enlargement, that is only we can say goiter. Whereas anemia, that is a deficiency of red blood cells or we can say hemoglobin in the blood. Brittle bone, that is we can say osteoporosis due to the deficiency of calcium and other condition of the body. Rickettsia, same with the vitamin D deficiency that leads in the weakness in the children's. Goiter, that is the enlargement of the thyroid bone, occur due to various reasons like due to iodine deficiency, immunodeficiency disease, like we have hashimoto-thyroidism, we have the Grave disease. Next, we have the nodular growth within the thyroid. After that, we have the perinatal transmission. Perinatal transmission is said to occur when a pathogen is transmitted from perinatal disease. We have to said like occur when a pathogen is transmitted from the mother to the infant. Perinatal means the developing fetus in the mother womb, and it is transmitted from the mother to the infant. It is known as perinatal transmission. Important. So perinatal transmission, when it is transmitted from the mother to her baby during the pregnancy, or we can say childbirth, or we can say it is known as the vertical transmission. Vertical transmission, perinatal transmission, having the following we can say way. One is the transplantation, we can say transplacental transmission, means the pathogen crossing the placenta and infect the fetus. Second, like after the birth by the breastfeeding, like some infection like HIV transmitted through the breastfeeding, breast milk. Next, intrauterine transmission, like the pathogen infect the fetus before the birth, usually through the amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid is the fluid in which the that is within the amniotic membrane in which the fetus is floating. Next, you have identify the source of H5N1 infections in human. H5N1 infection is caused by your bird, and this is the primarily infected the human, or we can say infection in human, that is primarily caused by the bird, and this is the virus, that is S5N1 avian influenza, or we can say bird flu. That is predominantly found in the bird and the domestic poultries. You are able to see the typical diagrammatic representation in which the scientist is searching for the H5N1 virus in the poultry, or we can say hen and duck we have. So there is typically we can say infection is typically occur due to the direct contact with the infected blood, or we can say they're dropping and we can say contaminated environment. Next, we have the questions like ascariasis lumbardiosis commonly is known by ascariasis lumbricoidosis, that is basically done by the roundworm. Ascariasis lumbririosis, that is basically known as your roundworm, is a parasitic nematodes that infect the human intestine and cause the disease ascariasis. The key point about the Ascaris lumbridiosis are it is a larger intestinal roundworm and the most common helminthic infections of the human and worldwide. Ascariasis is caused by the ingestion of the food and water, and we can say contaminated by the Ascaris egg. You are able to see that this is the male ascaris and this is the female ascaris. There is a difference, like the we can say male are having the curved body, whereas the female are having the straight body. And the diagnosis is made by the identification of ascaris egg in this stool, that is sample under the high powered microscope. And the symptoms of ascariasis, like we have the pain, vomiting, diarrhea, lightia, malnutrition, especially in the children, because it is the we can say caused by indigestion of your food and water, or we can say taking the contaminated food and water. Next, you have which of the following disease is caused by your nematodes. So nematode is basically cause our filariasis. So filariasis, that is first we have the poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis, that is caused by a poliovirus, which is a virus, not a nematode. So polio disease is caused by a virus, it is not by nematodes. Next, you have the filariasis, that is a nematodal disease and caused by your filary worm. These worms are transmitted from the insect bite and can lead to the condition such as lymphatic filariasis, in which there is swelling in the legs, swelling in the limbs, and that which also known as elephantiasis, in which the lymphatic fluid just exude out from their lymphatic vessels and accumulate in the leg. After that, we have the leprosy, that is caused by your Mycobacterium lepra, and is bacterium that is not a nematode. Leprosy, that is Mycobacterium lepra, a bacterium, and it is not a nematode disease. After that, we have the amoebiasis, that is caused by your protozoa, that is Entamoeba histolytica, which is also not a related to the nematode. So amoebiasis, that is caused by your protozoan disease, or we can say Entamoeba histolytica, and it is not related to your nematode. The rash is seen in typhoid patient is referred to as the rashes, that is seen in typhoid patient, that is referred to as the rose spot. So this is the diagrammatic representation, like the rashes that appear in the typhoid patient are known as the rose spot. These are the why it is called rose spot, because they are having the red spot and that appear on the chest and the abdomen. So being a pharmacist, you also have to examine the disease, basically the patient, the surrounding people that are suffering. It is not like you are only having the duty, just you just prescribe, just see the prescription and give the medication. No, you have to do the patient counseling in a very positive and in a very right way. You can give them the suggestion that you have to try to discuss with the super specialist doctor the disease. According to their disease, you have to recommend a good doctor. You have to give them the OTC, we can say treatment, the OTC, over the counter drug that you have to give the treatment. So symptoms of typhoid, you know very well, like bloody stool, that fever is around 103 to 104 Fahrenheit, and chills and weakness is there, stomach pain, confusion, hallucinogens, headache, and loss of appetite. As I told you that typhoid is caused by your Salmonella typhi, that is a bacterial disease transmitted by the eating and drinking of contaminated water by the bacteria. Next question for you. What does DOT stand for? That DOT stand for in the tuberculosis. DOT stand for. DOT stand for, that is your directly observed treatment short course. So DOT, that is we can say TB dose. It is also known as TB dose. So it is the name that is given to the tuberculosis control strategy that is recommended by your World Health Organization. WHO has launched the DOTS treatment or TB DOTS. According to WHO, the most cost-effective way to stop the spread of TB in the community with the high incidence is the curing it. So basically, it is a kit that is given to the TB patient, and they have to take the medication on a very short course, or we can say on a very observative way. They don't have to skip the medications. So basically, the DOT we can say the treatment include the drug like anti-TB drug you have rifampicin. I know you know very well, isoniazid, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol. Ethambutol, that is your bacteriostatic drug, and all above are your rifampicin, isoniazid, and pyrazinamide, that is your bactericidal drug. And ethambutol are having the side effect, that is optic neuritis, and isoniazid, that is we can say we have to give the pyridoxine when the patient is taking the isoniazid, or we can say there is a reaction between the isoniazid and pyridoxine. Mission Indradhanush launched in Mission Indradhanush, like you are able to see that rainbow when there is a like rainy season, and there is a we can say shiny, or we can say when both rain as well as the sun is brightening, there is a rainbow is formed. So Mission Indradhanush, that was launched in the year of 2014 and in the month of December. So in the December 2014, the Indradhanush mission was launched by the health mission, we can say in a health mission by the government of India. So this mission was launched by JP Nadda on 25th December 2014. On the Christmas Day, this mission was launched. And according to this scheme, this seek to drive the 90% full immunizations covering the India and sustain by the same by the 2022. So from according to this mission, don't forget vaccination, your baby must get. Mission Indradhanush is basically for the vaccinations, and the aim of this the aim of this mission is like to drive toward 90% of full immunization over the India by the year of 2022, and vaccination basically providing it's the eight vaccinations about the disease, like you have the diphtheria, whooping cough, tetanus, polio, measles, severe form of childhood tuberculosis, and typhoid, meningitis, and pneumonia caused by the Haemophilus influenza, as well as against rotavirus, diarrhea, and Japanese encephalitis in selected state and district respectively. So these are the vaccines that is included in your we can say vaccination program initiation. So next you have, which is the first country to initiate a family planning program in the world. So it is your India. India, as you know, we are just down from the China in we can say population. And China is on the first. In the few year, we are just going to cross the China, because we had around 140 crore of population all over over the above 140, or we can say approximate 150 crore in the upcoming year we have the population. So there is a need to launch the family planning program initiation. So we are the first country, or our India is the first country that initiate the family planning program initiation. So we had launched family planning program initiation in the year of 1952, with the goal that we have to reduce the fertility and slow down the overgrowing population of the country. And the program that was initiated, that was also intended to stabilizing the population to meet their need of the national economy. We have to keep the economy in this matter. The MHFW, like Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, is responsible for the developing and implementation of the India Family Planning Program, and the symbol of Family Planning Program in the India is the inverted red. Inverted red. They just ask by giving this structure. They can ask like what the given shape is showing. The inverted red color box, triangular box, and the inverted red triangle is showing. So it is showing your family planning program nation that was launched in the year of 1952 to just reduce the fertility, to just slow down the population, and basically implement it for all over the India. And it was we are the first country, we are the first country. But is the full form of SARS? SARS, that is basically your severe acute respiratory syndrome. SARS, that is very important question. They will ask in the examination. Like in your Telangana Pharmacist examination, there will be chance that more than 5 to 10 question are directly from the full form. They can ask like what is the SARS, what is the HIV, what is COPD, what is your NHW, NHM. They can ask about the full form. So SARS, that is basically severe acute respiratory syndrome. It is a viral respiratory disease of genetic organism origin caused by the virus SARS-CoV-1, and this strain was first, and we know very well like coronavirus, and the symptoms include like flu-like symptoms including your fever, muscles pain, lethargy, cough, sore throat, and some other non-specific symptoms. SARS often leads shortness of the breath and pneumonia, and it is a very it may direct the viral pneumonia and secondary infections also. So SARS, they will definitely ask the question about your COVID-19 pandemic. So this is very important question. You just have to read about the vaccinations, like what are the vaccinations that we have to provide. Like you have to read about the Covishield, co-vaccines, other vaccines, and how the COVID-19 pandemic is COVID is spreading, and what is the virus strain, and how many strain of virus we have. Next question for you. Which body is responsible for formulating policy, the policy, implementing the program for prevention and control of the HIV in the India? So we have the NACO, that is the body that is responsible for the formulating the policy and the implementation and monitoring of the program for control and prevention of the HIV in the India. So NACO, that is the logo and trademark of the NACO, and it is a semi-autonomous body and under working under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, that is basically responsible for the formulating, implementation and monitoring policy program against the control of the HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. So All India Institute of Medical Sciences, that is primarily a medical research institution and a hospital in the India, known for providing the high quality of healthcare and conducting a medical research. We have the IIM, that is Indian Institute of Management, a group of autonomous public business school in India that focus on the management and education and research. After that, we have the IITs, like we have the IIT Delhi, we have the IIT Ropar, we have the IIT Roorkee, we have the IIT Bombay. So these are basically the engineering institutions that are basically focusing on the new technologies, new education research regarding the engineering. We have, again we have, as we had done the same questions in the model paper first, and the same is in the model paper second. So when was the National Urban Health Mission approved by the cabinet? As this is the repeated question from the model paper first, it means it is going to be important. So it was approved by your cabinet in the year of 2013, and in the on 1st May 2013, the NUHM, that is National Health Mission, was launched, and as it is under, or we can say, submission of your National Health Mission, and that is specially focusing on improving the healthcare services in the urban area. And urban area faces the unique health challenges due to the factor like population density, rapid urbanization, inadequate infrastructure, disparities in the access to healthcare and services. And this is the we can say trademark and the logo. You are able to see Rashtriya Swachhta Abhiyan, National Urban Health Mission, that is under your National Health Mission. Include two, one is National Rural Health Mission, RHM, and one is your NURM, that is NUHM, National Urban Health Mission, National Rural Health Mission. According to WHO, mental health is more than just the absence of what? So this is the question number 27, and they are asking like according to the World Health Organization, mental health is more than just the absence of what? It is more than absence of the mental disorder. So WHO is basically emphasizing on the mental health. We can say a state of well-being where the individual can cope up with the stress life, realizing their ability, learn, work effectively, contributing to their community. And this definition highlights that the mental health is a complex continuum, not merely the absence of the mental health condition. What part of the body does calmedia trachomata primarily infect in the skin? Trachomatis, chlamydia. So this is basically affecting your eyes. Chlamydiasis, eyes. So chlamydia trichosis, that is caused by the bacterium. We can say trachoma, that is the infectious in the disease that is caused by your chlamydia infectiosa. That's leading to the inflammation, or we can say scarring of your conjunctiva and the eyes. You are basically typical able to see in this structure. The man is having the trichoma. We can say trachoma, trachoma. That is a bacterial disease that is leading to the inflammations of their conjunctiva and eyelids. And if untreated, trachoma can progress to the trichiasis, or we can say a condition where the eyelashes turn inward and rub against the cornea, leads to the corneal damage, ulcer, and eventually that leads to the blindness also. What is the other name of your leprosy? TB, okay. Hansen disease, okay. Sclerite fever, okay. Syphilis, okay. So leprosy, that is your Hansen disease. So leprosy, that is basically the cause by your mycobacterium lepra, and spreading from the one person to another person through the respirated droplet. And when we can say untreated leprosy causes sneeze and cough, and primarily it is as I told you caused by the direct and infected individual in the direct contact. Hansen disease, that is the other name of your leprosy. Next and last question, student. If a disease spread all over the world, it is called pandemic. As you know very well, we had we have the COVID-19 pandemic in the past year. Corona Corona was spread all over the world. That's why WHO, World Health Organization, we can say, declared Corona as a pandemic disease. Got it? So we have the epidemic disease. Epidemic means like the rapid spread of disease to large number of individuals with a specific community or over a short region of period of a time. Like we have the dengue, we can say dengue, that is a seasonal, or we can say a whole a particular area is affected by the specific community is affected by the dengue virus, and it is a large number spreading an individual. Pandemic, that is spreading over multiple countries, containment affecting a significant portion of the population. After that, we have the endemic, that is consistently present with a particular geographic area, or we can say population. So that is for a particular geographic area and population, that is your endemic. Got it? So dear student, we had done with the two model paper, that is model paper first of social pharmacy, in which we had discussed about the top 30 questions, and same is in model paper second, we had also discussed about the top 30 questions of the social pharmacy. So I hope you had enjoyed these both model papers. So I request you, please revise each and every topic. Your today's efforts is going to plan your tomorrow comfort. So it's the right time to arise, awake, and no need to stop until you will get the good job, until you will get the good position. So arise, awake, and do not stop until you can achieve your goals. So thank you everyone for joining the session. We will meet soon in next session, the next part. all the best for your examination. Thank you, everyone.